Hello, I'm Denise LaFrance. Coming up next on City Beat, kids identify with pets, and this animal helps teach children about recycling. We'll tell you about Libby, the environmentally friendly dog. Mother Nature brought Las Cruces a lot of September rain, but the city of Las Cruces answered back with big trucks and a lot of collaboration. And those rains also brought a lot of weeds to clean up. We'll remind you about one landscape maintenance program and what it means for businesses in the city. Welcome to City Beat for the month of October. It's not every day that pets are allowed in the classroom, but one golden retriever named Libby is teaching third graders a thing or two about keeping the environment healthy. City Beat's Jennifer Martinez explains.
I like to study about plants, and if there's no more plants because everybody litters, I wouldn't be happy.
Third graders learn a lot in the classroom, and today they are learning from a furry friend why they should not be littering. Today, Libby, the green dog, is teaching these kids a valuable lesson in keeping the environment clean. Libby is an acronym that stands for Las Cruces is beautiful because of you.
We're here having a Libby visit. Libby visits are meant to enrich the kids on ways to recycle, which items you can put in the recycling bin and which ones go into the trash bin.
Libby teaches third graders that recycling is important, but it's also important for them to share what they've learned with others. That's why this book is given to each child to take home to share what they've learned.
So if you guys would like, you want to open up to the first page and we'll read a little bit out of the book.
Members of the Keep Las Cruces Beautiful team, Codes Enforcement, and the South Central Solid Waste Authority read to the kids a few pages and answer a few questions. But the kids are encouraged to read and learn more on their own. And so far, having a doggie in the classroom helps them to retain what they have just learned.
When people recycle, she picks up the trash and she gives it to the police officer and he throws it away.
And then we tell them, all right, if you see illegal dumping anywhere, you can report it to the codes office. We give them a bookmark with the codes officer's number on there.
It's 575-528-4100.
Libby, as you can see, it just makes them happier. They're like, oh, it's a dog, it's a dog. You just grab their attention a lot more than if we were just to be like, hi guys, my name is Carmen Del Castillo. We're here to read you a book.
And the kids are interactive when it comes to answering questions. They really do pay attention to what's going on around them.
You know how people sometimes litter in the same place?
Yes.
Well, you can lose oxygen there.
It's bad. You need to recycle or throw things in the trash because it could hurt animals and all the environment.
Libby spends about 15 minutes in each classroom and has visits to other third grade classes scheduled out this year. It's a more hands-on approach to learning than the assemblies from the past, and it really gives the kids a better idea what recycling is all about.
Recycling, if we teach it at a young age, they can get used to it so that when they do get older and have homes for themselves, they already know what needs to be recycled, what should be recycled, and why.
For City Beat, I'm Jennifer Martinez.
Thanks, Jennifer. Libby's book is bilingual and is available in local bookstores for less than $10. Rain, rain, and more rain is what Las Cruces got last month, and it was greatly welcomed. Though the heavy rains caused damage to our neighbors in the north and south, Las Cruces' investment in its street drainage program paid off with minimal damage. There were also minor issues when it came to the city's Vector trucks as they came to the rescue, as CLC TV's photojournalist Dominic Aragon shows us.
We're assisting streets with all the rainwater. Our department has 3 Vectors that are running all the time, but generally those are just used for the sanitary sewer. We're helping them with the stormwater to clean up the spots where it's hard for the traffic so we don't cause an accident or whatever, where the spots that don't drain themselves. The truck holds about 1,000 gallons. This one, I have another one that's finished up another area and it'll be coming here, and that one holds about 1,500. This one is a Vector brand, but generally they're called high pressure sewer cleaning trucks. or combination vehicles. Streets is basically the same as ours, but it's newer than this one. But we try not to cross-contaminate because we don't want the storm sewer mixing with the sanitary sewer. So like before we came here, we had to make sure our trucks were clean, and so we wouldn't get. So they drained the tanks, and now they're doing here so they can just dump the water straight in to a pond or something. So we're not getting the. We don't want this water to go to the plant to overwhelm the treatment plant on its treatment. The trucks are a very important part of the city, and the maintenance and operation O&M of the maintenance for our sewer system. And I know for the storm sewer system that the streets use also. The trucks seem expensive, but they're very well worth what we get out of them.
Thank you, Dominic. If you've noticed those pesky weeds peeking out in your yard, you're not alone. But don't forget, the city has a landscape maintenance program that's created to promote the economic and health benefits of landscaping. Last month's rain meant a lot of weeds need to be tended to. City rights-of-way medians and park maintenance crews have been cleaning up city-owned properties by trimming trees, cutting weeds, and picking up litter at the vacant city office center at Loman Avenue and Alameda Boulevard. Codes enforcement officers will continue to inspect sections of the city to make sure property owners are in compliance with the Design Standards Ordinance. The code requires property owners to maintain a weed and litter-free yard in a healthy, clean, trimmed condition. The code also says there should be no dead plants, and living plants need to be pruned and trimmed so they do not interfere with pedestrians or vehicular traffic. If you have questions about the landscape maintenance program, call 528-4100. Each month, we highlight a city job to give you behind-the-scenes access to what City of Las Cruces employees do each day. In this episode of City Jobs, we show you how mail is distributed between city offices and to the public.
Have you ever wondered what happens to your utility payment when you send it in to the City of Las Cruces? In this episode of City Jobs, we're going to meet with the mail clerk to find out how that payment and other correspondence gets delivered to city offices. Let's see if the mail clerk is available now. Morning. Are you ready?
Yes, I'm ready to go.
All right, let's go. This morning, we're in the mail room with Fernando Correa, who is our mail clerk, and everything that has to do with the mail starts here in this room. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, tell me a little bit about what you do.
Well, first thing we do is we get here in the morning, get a good cup of coffee because I need to get going in the morning. Then we head over to the post office. That's my first duty of the day.
And then what do you do at the post office?
And from there, I pick up the mail, the incoming mail for the City of Las Cruces, and I bring it back here to my department, sort it out, and deliver it amongst the city, inside and outside the city.
And that's a lot of mail that we bring back here?
It varies. Usually during the weekends, it accumulates throughout the week because it's 2 days worth of work, and throughout the week, sometimes it varies, you know. I never know what's going to come. It's like a hit and miss, basically.
All right, well, let's go hit this first stop at the post office, and we'll go collect whatever mail we need to pick up.
You got it. Let's go.
All right, let's go.
The post office is just down the street, about a block. When we get there, we ring the bell, pick up a few crates worth of mail, pack it up, and head back over to City Hall. Today there are just a couple of boxes, but a whole lot of letters. I can't wait to find out what to do next. Now it's time to really get down to work.
Well, we're back in the mail room, just picked up the mail from the post office. That's usually a quick turnaround?
Pretty much so, yes. It's an everyday turnaround, actually, yes.
And so about, what, 5 to 10 minutes to just go down the street and come back?
Yes, because it's so close. It's only a block away from here, so it makes it very easy for me.
Okay. Now, once we have the mail here, what do we do with it?
What I do is I sort out by department. You see shelves behind me. That's what I do. But first off, before we sort out the mail, you have to wear one of these.
And why are we wearing gloves?
Because in the past, we have had, being that this is government mail, in the past we've had issues to where, you know, we've gotten threatening letters to like management here, and so therefore we wear these to distinguish our fingerprints from everybody else's, so that way it makes it easier for law enforcement to research what's in the documentation.
Okay.
So let's get started.
All right. Do you start with the smaller pieces of mail first?
Yes, I usually start with the smaller pieces of mail first, and what I can have you do is sort out the utility bills for me. These are payments that customers receive in the mail.
Okay.
Watch these ones right here. It says like finance cashier. Those are all utility payments. I could just start by having you sort them, and whatever you see
And
in
they
there.
come in this group, so you already know.
Yes, basically.
Okay,
yes.
so anything that says finance cashier can go in here.
Yes.
Okay. How many of these do you think you get?
Maybe about a couple of thousand a day, maybe.
Oh dear. And going through a lot of these letters, I'm finding it's visible. There's a lot of checks in here, so you're responsible for a lot of the financial going-ons here at the city. Tell me about the responsibility.
Basically, these are payments or utility bills and whatever the case may be of people owing the city money, whether it be tickets and whatnot. Basically, a lot of stuff is time sensitive, being that they has a date, and I guess they have like due dates to when they're due to avoid overage fees. So it's important for me to get them to the cashiers right away the same day.
And this box that you had me put all the finance and cashier payments in,
yes,
there are lots, I'm guessing lots and lots of people that need to pay their gas, their bills. And if these don't get delivered in time, there's potential they could maybe get shut off.
Yeah. And that's why I make that a priority to get that to the cashiers right away the same day.
Okay.
Fernando is quick at sorting. After years of doing this, he doesn't seem to need to look at the labels. For me, I could have been here all day, but there's lots of places to go and people to see. Finally, we have everything ready for distribution, and it's off to see all of my coworkers.
Now, some mailboxes you have at each individual desk, right?
Correct. And most of the departments also have their own centralized incoming and outgoing mailbox, for instance, customer service right here. So what I would do here is, here's all their incoming mail that we just sorted. I'd put in their incoming mailbox, and right there's their outgoing correspondence, which is right here.
And so these are the unstamped things that you'll have to process a little bit later.
These are the stamped ones I'm going to have to process later. And this is inner office stuff right here. This is the stuff that goes inside the city.
And I see there's a lot of signatures on here. This is an envelope that looks like it's gotten a lot of use. Tell me a little bit about that.
Basically what these are inner office envelopes, actually. And people, like, for instance, like if they want to send something inside the city, they'll put a name. And it goes on to the next person, the name and where it's going to, and then they'll get it to the next person, scratch out the name, and put it to the next person they're going to. So yeah, it does get a lot of use.
So they're not using postage?
No, they're not,
And it's a lot more environmentally friendly?
Pretty much, yes, to say the least.
So we're picking these up, we drop some off, and we're heading off to the next spot.
Yes, we are.
Let's go.
So we finish up delivering mail throughout City Hall, from room to room and floor to floor. Now it's time to head out again to see what's happening at other city buildings. After several stops, we're back near City Hall at the police station. You'd be surprised how many buildings the city maintains. The good news is, we're almost done.
Well, we're at one of the final stops here at the fire department, and I really did learn a lot about what it takes to deliver mail. Thank you, Fernando, for letting me tag along with you today.
No, it's my pleasure. Enjoyed the company.
And anytime you need some help, I'd love to come along for the ride once again.
You're good. I can always use a company and a sidekick.
All right. Thank you very much. I'll let you get back to what you need to do.
Thank you.
All right. In the meantime, I did learn a lot about what it takes to deliver mail for the city of Las Cruces. Now, it's about 20 buildings, thousands of pieces of mail that need to get delivered, and the importance of getting those checks to where they need to go on time. If there's a city job that you'd like to learn more about, contact us at clctv.com.
Thanks, Jen. Movies in the Park continues this month with free showings. This and more in our City Minute. On the 19th, it's Iron Man 3. On the 26th, it's Skyfall. Both movies are rated PG-13 and begin at dusk at Young Park. Just a reminder, registered voters can cast ballots for this year's municipal election at voting convenience centers throughout the city. For a list of those locations, head to the city's website at las-cruces.org. The city is looking for applicants for its appointment to the Americans with Disabilities Advisory Committee. Applications are accepted through December 31st. Those interested can pick up applications at the city clerk's office inside City Hall at 700 North Main Street or online at las-cruces.org. The committee meets the second Thursday of each month. And congratulations to CLC TV for winning 8 government programming awards from the National Association of Telecommunications and Officers and Advisors. The winning videos included public service announcements, promotional videos, public meetings, and the city's government television website, clctv.com. And it's being called the best home schedule ever. The Aggies play Rice and Abilene Christian this month in football. Next month, it's Louisiana, Boston College, Florida Atlantic, and Idaho. The schedule is sure to bring in visitors from across the country to watch. Tourism is big business in Las Cruces. In fact, visitors spend approximately $63 million each year here. With more on how to put heads in Las Cruces hotel beds, here's CLC TV's Udelva Hill.
Hello and welcome. And joining me for this edition of Asta is Philip Sanfilippo, Executive Director of the Las Cruces Convention and Visitors Bureau. Phil, thank you for joining us.
My
for
pleasure.
Asta. All right. Now, tourism is a big business in Las Cruces. Give us a little overview of the Las Cruces Convention and Visitors Bureau and what you all do.
Okay, the main mission of the Convention and Visitors Bureau is to drive sustainable business here to Las Cruces. We want to work with the hospitality industry to make sure that we keep their rooms filled, but also we work with the hospitality industry to make sure that we're providing good quality customer service, and that what we're doing is giving a person coming to Las Cruces the best possible experience that we can.
And to kind of playing up on that, the CVB is actually doing training or working with local hotels.
We are. In fact, we're doing some training right now on customer service because it's important. The first impression that someone gets of a destination makes or breaks how they feel about it. And I know everyone has gone through a situation where they were either at a hotel or at a restaurant, and their waiter or waitress was just texting a friend or talking to another worker, and you sit there and say, wow, I'm never coming back to this place. I mean, it's just rude. And that's the worst thing you could possibly do. So customer service is the name of the game, and that's what we're really striving to provide for this community.
Okay. Well, Las Cruces is the 3rd most popular destination here in Las Cruces. What are some of the ways you do to attract tourists to Las Cruces?
Well, last year we spent some time doing a rebranding of our organization to understand what our clients wanted. We did some here in Las Cruces, and then we did some more focus groups up in Albuquerque. And we found that what people in Las Cruces were saying that we offered friendliness, we offered good cuisine, but we also offered a place for people to experience and explore and discover new things. And we went to Albuquerque, and what we found out is what people were looking for is they're looking for good cuisine, they're looking for friendliness, and they're looking for places to explore and experience. But the one thing we learned more than anything is they want a reason to come here. You have to give them a very specific reason to come. And that's why when we came back, we started putting all our notes together. We said, all right, we have to give people a very specific reason to come. And that's why we've done our country music festival last year, and we just announced we're doing the Biggest Loser race here in Las Cruces, which we're real happy to take on. So it's giving people a reason to come here.
And that's wonderful that you're being proactive in this rather than just using existing events. You're actually creating events and, like you say, creating a reason to come and visit.
We are facing incredible competition all around us, and we have to give people a reason very different from what our competitors are doing. And that's what we're striving to do.
Okay. Now, we just opened a new convention center. Our first ever is coming up on 4 years. How crucial is having a convention center to putting heads in beds here in Las Cruces?
It's very crucial. People don't come for the convention center. They come for other reasons. But you have to have a quality facility so that when they do come, they can have their meetings, run them efficiently, and enjoy the facility to its fullest. We have that great facility. And it gives us another opportunity to say to people, come to Las Cruces, have your meetings here. Not only will you have a great convention, but you also experience other things that we have to offer as well.
And there were plans to build a hotel across the street or near the convention center. Do you know where that stands now?
Sort of, I do. My understanding is it was off the table. The timing of the convention center, as everyone knows, couldn't have been at a worse time in our economy. And it was off the table for a while. My understanding is it is being reconsidered, and we're hoping that in a very near future we'll see some plans for a hotel there.
Okay. And what changes do you see on the horizon for tourism in Las Cruces?
Right now, we're at such an exciting time because there's so many things happening. First of all, to the east of us, we have the potential of a national monument with the Organ Mountains, and which the City Council here has endorsed. And the potential of having a national monument right in our backyard is a phenomenal opportunity for us to get more tourism. On the other side of us, we have something called Spaceport America, that a year from now will be flying people into space. And that's another opportunity we have. And here we sit right in the middle of two potential great opportunities. And the synergism between the two of them put Las Cruces in an extremely unique place for tourism to really grow over the next 5 to 10 years.
Now, given that those two potentials for attracting tourism, do we have enough hotel rooms to accommodate what could be predicted to be a...
I believe you will see as both of these potential opportunities start to happen, you'll see more hotel rooms coming to the city.
Okay. Phil, is there anything else you'd like to add about bringing tourists to Las Cruces?
I'd like to just say one thing. We talked about customer service right in the beginning, and it's not just at the hotels and the restaurants. Everyone really has a responsibility for tourism. It's when someone stops you and asks you for directions, if it's anything, every time you come across a visitor, you are the ambassador for the city, and we need everyone's help.
That's right. We all are ambassadors, and that's a good point to bring up. It's all our responsibility, not just the Convention and Visitors Bureau. You're the tip of the spear, you might say.
Exactly, but we need everyone to support us.
Okay. Phil, thank you for joining us.
My
Philip
pleasure.
Sanfilippo, Executive Director of the Las Cruces Convention and Visitors Bureau.
Thanks, Udell. That's all for this episode of City Beat. Remember, tune in for live City Council meetings right here on Mondays at 1 p.m. Plus, all archived videos and programs can be found on clctv.com. Plus, don't forget to like us on our Facebook page. Thanks for joining us. I'm Denise LaFrance.